told on stage was a pussy joke.
Woo!
When I was 16 and very depressed, my dad signed me up for a stand-up class because I guess he saw how happy and well-adjusted stand-up comedians are. But I took this stand-up class, and at the end of the session, we had this final showcase. And I get up there, and I go, "Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Shai, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm 16, and I want to do comedy, but I actually think that I have what it takes to make it in the entertainment industry, because I have what everyone wants, which is underage pussy." And even though that joke made for some uncomfortable moments as soon as I got off stage, I used it as my opener until I turned 18, because it killed. And I've since written many, many, many pussy jokes about, how it looks and everything. Like, if my pussy wore a bikini to the beach, people would call it brave. My pussy is like the sun. It's got incredible health benefits, physical and mental, but you cannot look directly at it. Point is, I got a lot of pussy jokes, but I'm not a dirty comic. I douche for this. I'm not though. This is just sort of my opportunity to purge some of my dirtiest jokes. So if you'll indulge me, here's another one. You ever go to the doctor and you're talking about your sexual history, and the doctor asks if you use a condom during oral sex? Excuse me, sir, let me ask you a question. When you... just a quick question. When you have leftovers, do you keep the cling wrap on?
No.
No, right. So why the fuck would I use a condom during oral sex if I am offered a lollipop and for whatever reason I'm not 100% sure that it doesn't have chlamydia? My first thought is not going to be, just eat it with the wrapper on. I'll wait until the next one is offered to me. They're not in short supply. I don't like lollipops that much. For those who aren't tracking the metaphor, by lollipop I mean human penis. I'm sure that when I'm older, I'll have a lot more profound jokes about, say, getting older, or how having a son taught me to respect men. You ever hear dads talk about having daughters in a kind of way like, oh, it changed everything? Like, it really took a woman coming from your loins for you to be like, oh, it's a person. Got it. Like, imagine if women talked about having sons the same way men talked about having daughters. Like, having a son just changed everything for me. Like, ladies, we have to protect men. Think about it. Every man is somebody's son. Somebody's brother. Somebody's uncle, even. That man means something to a woman. So we have to respect men. When I'm older, I'll probably have more profound jokes like that. But right now, I'm 21. So I'm going to talk about sex, because so far it's the coolest thing I've done. I used to think about my body constantly. I still think about it sometimes with a lot less hostility. It is amazing that wherever you go, you have to bring your body. It's kind of a bummer, honestly. I wish I could have left mine at home for this special, because I'm going to talk about it a lot. And here's the thing. I'm going to mention some pretty specific insecurities. And if I do that, don't go looking for them. Don't scan. Just take my word for it. Okay? Cool. Because here's the thing. What I've done very conveniently, I've taken my biggest insecurity of all time and I have put it in a jar. On July 31st, 2023, I did something that, as a feminist, I'm still conflicted about. I got a labiaplasty. Now, a labiaplasty, or as I call it, my circumcision, it is a cosmetic procedure where some or all of the inner labia are removed. It's basically just like a trim. And I wouldn't say that my family is against cosmetic surgery. Both my mom and sister had rhinoplasties when they were teenagers. But nose jobs, I think, to Jews, don't really carry as much weight as other plastic surgery. They kind of treat it like going blonde. Like, wow, it's so natural. It just brightens up your face. Who'd you go to? And now, I've thought about getting a nose job. My mom also thought about getting me a nose job. I remember when I was 17, I asked my mom if I could get my nose pierced. And she said, okay, but that means you can't get it done. As if those are the same at all insurance-wise. So I didn't get a rhinoplasty, but I did get a labiaplasty. And the reason I got this trim, like really was just a little off the bottom, was this. Imagine you have a wedgie, and you're walking around, and there's no good opportunity to pick it. And like, wedgies aren't painful, but they're uncomfortable to the point where it's just always in the back of your mind. So before I got this trim, that's how I felt about my inner labia since middle school. And that's when most insecurities begin, right? I was 12 years old in 7th grade, and my best friend and I went to Victoria's Secret, which is a store where you can learn what your bra size isn't. But we go to Victoria's Secret. We were not allowed to have sexy underwear yet, so what we did was we bought matching thongs in secret. Like, we paid in cash. We agreed that we would hand wash them so that our moms wouldn't find them in the laundry. And like the day before school, we'd call each other like, okay, I'm gonna wear mine tomorrow, you can wear yours. Okay, cool. And then we show up to school the next day looking the same. Nothing like visibly different about us, but like we knew, and that's what mattered. But here's the thing about Victoria's Secret and the panties that they manufacture, it like barely covers an eyebrow. So like if you're rocking an inner lab bigger than an eyebrow, you're kind of fucked. And when I put on this thong for the first time at 12 years old, wedgie. So it's amazing that like women's clothing specifically can manufacture problems that didn't exist before just by virtue of like what they are. I'm gonna give a pretty hot take about clothing right now, so just brace yourself. Fuck leggings. Like, okay, thank you. Yeah, fuck leggings. Leggings are not pants. I should not be able to do a police sketch of your mom's pubis. Simply because we took a spin class together. Leggings, the material might feel more comfortable, like on your skin, but at least denim can keep a fucking secret. Jeans take care of you. They're like, put me on, baby, for all they know you don't have cellulite. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna grab your waist. I'm gonna find your clit. Jeans are crazy for that. If you have a clitoris and a pair of jeans, odds are they've met. They are well acquainted with each other. So back to middle school. I was told at 12 years old that I was going to become a woman. And that freaked me out a little bit. Women did not seem like they were having a good time. I did not want to do that. Like, being assigned female at birth is like being the designated driver for life. You're like expected to take care of everyone. You can't have as much fun. Women aren't even trusted to drive, though. like what is a woman? You know, like that's That's a pretty loaded question, but at the time, every poem that tried to answer that question fucking sucked. Like, what is a woman? A woman is a babbling brook. A woman is a tree that asks to borrow your hair tie. A woman is a mother. A woman is a friend. A woman is a human who owns a diffuser. A woman is a mascara advertisement where the model is still wearing fake eyelashes. So, like, what's the fucking point? A woman is a man without pockets. And a man without a woman, he's never washed his towels. So I was not looking forward to whatever that was. And here's what it is. Honestly, I think I'm a misogynist. Stay with me. I think I am a misogynist the same way one calls themselves an alcoholic. Like, even when you're taking all the right steps, you're always in recovery. So I was a recovering misogynist. I didn't like the idea of becoming a woman, but I loved having a bar mitzvah. Oh my gosh. Guys, bar mitzvah season for me was personally incredible. Thank you for coming. Baptism is on the rise, actually. So I went to a Jewish private middle school, so everyone in my grade had a bar mitzvah. Like, I partied more then than I ever have in college. And it became this like fabulous routine. Like, Saturday morning, you show up to temple in like a knee-length floral dress with like a cardigan on top because you're not a slut. Ballet flats, blisters. And you sit and you watch Adam or Itai or Rachel or Layla or Rachel, one of your classmates, stands before God and distant aunts and gives a very stiff speech that sounds a little something like this. Merriam-Webster defines field in a plethora of ways, such as an open land area free of woods and buildings, an area of cleared enclosed land used for cultivation and pasture, or the place where a battle is fought. When Cain killed his brother Abel in a field, a battle was surely fought, as Abel likely did not want to perish. But he did, with a rock. God asked Cain where Abel was, and Cain said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" He wasn't, but he should have been. You're sitting there watching that, and you lean over to your mom and you go, "Hey, after this, do we have to go to Macy's to get her a necklace, or is this like a donate to an elephant sanctuary type of deal?" Genuine question. How many elephants do you think were saved from poaching solely because a Jewish girl in California had enough necklaces? But, and then that night, you go to the party, right? You got that same dress on, but you've taken the cardigan off. You're a slut. Ballet flats, band-aids on the blisters. Hi, could I do a Shirley Temple Virgin? Oh my god, I literally hope they don't play this slow song. Oh my god, I'm literally gonna die if they ask, oh my god, if they play a slow song, it's gonna be like so embarrassing. I'll be right back. Hi, can you play a slow song? Could you like Perfect by Ed Sheeran or something? And could you like tell us to like get up, like that we have to dance because otherwise we're just gonna like stand on opposite sides of the dance floor point. Like, okay. Thanks. The coolest bar mitzvahs had like a theme. I remember the horse girl in our grade, Addie, which was a very apt name given how many she would take in high school. Addie, her bar mitzvah theme was rodeo, and there was a mechanical bull. it was, the invitations were like, girls wear pants, like it was awesome. It was so much fun. I had what I consider to be the sluttiest bat mitzvah theme. It was black light. So the invitations were like, wear white, wear neon, and you show up, and there's black light everywhere. Like, people were into it. They're like, oh my gosh, everything's glowing. Wait, are my teeth glowing? That's so crazy. This is just like in laser tag. Ari, why do your pants look like that? So, as a 12-year-old woman, I thought about my body constantly. I thought about this insecurity so often. And I tried to be body positive. You know, I tried to be the 2010s version of body positive. Like, I would comb through BuzzFeed articles that were titled, like, here are 1,000 plaster casts of women's vulvas that'll make you say, dang! Labia are as diverse and beautiful as the cast of Hamilton in American musical. Rise up, vagina. And I looked through all of those fucking plaster casts, looking for a labia that kind of resembled mine, and I couldn't, which made me feel worse. And this was also around the time I was watching a lot of porn. Okay, so some blank stares, I'll explain. Porn, for those of you who may not know, it's a genre of film, right? So it's got its own tropes, like, you know how like in superhero movies, women are always falling off of skyscrapers before being rescued by men in tights? Porn's kind of like that, but you know, in porn movies, women are always getting stuck in dryers before being rescued by their adult stepson who rips their tights. And these films taught me two things. Number one, that sex occurs under fluorescent lighting. A horrifying thought. And number two, that I'm bisexual. Now, I lived in California, so this was not a big deal, but it added a wrinkle to this insecurity of mine, which was already very wrinkled. The girls in my grade, we came to this consensus that, like, guys would just be so excited to see us naked that they wouldn't notice our insecurities, which is such a bleak take on body positivity. Oh my God. Like, don't worry, they won't look closely. They won't pay attention. I once, in 8th grade, tried to make a sex pact with a boy, and he said no. We were on a field trip, and we sat next to each other on the bus. And I said, hey, if we're both still virgins by the time we're 16, so, you know, 3 years from now? And I offered him this sex pact, and he said no, which was so embarrassing. I don't know if you've met an 8th grade boy. They fuck soup. And I was a girl, which is like soup with hair. But when I discovered that I also wanted to fuck soup with hair, I thought, oh no, I am a girl, I like girls. I notice these things. So if I hook up with a girl, will she notice too? My first sexual experience was actually in high school with a girl. So I was in a community production of The Addams Family. She was Morticia. I was Grandma Addams. Can I make it any more obvious? Thank you, parties. We are at the cast party, but this isn't just any cast party. This is the second cast party that happens after the first cast party where just the leads hang out. I didn't know this was a thing. This is my first time being a lead. So we are at Lucas Beinecke's house, and he's got a pool and a jacuzzi. So naturally we're in the jacuzzi, and naturally we play Truth or Dare. Now, at the earlier cast party, the one for optics, I asked Morticia, like a very standard theater kid question. You guys can probably guess what it is. If you had to make out with anyone in the cast, like who'd it be? And she said, I'm straight, but probably you. So we are in the jacuzzi, and we're playing Truth or Dare, and after Lurch drinks pool water, not a dare, it's Morticia's turn, and she is dared to go around and kiss everyone on the face, and she could decide where. Total setup looking back. But, so she goes around, and she kisses like Gomez on the forehead, Wednesday on the cheek, not Lurch. And then she gets to me, and it's quiet. So where do you want me to? So I don't know. It's like it's your dare. Like you can do whatever you want. No, but like, do you have like a preference? Like my preference is your preference. Okay, like you get to decide whatever. And then she kissed me on the mouth. Yeah, I know. She picked that. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, for a straight girl, she's really taking her time. Until finally she pulls away and goes, guys, I'm gay. Like fully. Yeah, that's right. This can of Campbell's turned her gay. Like fully. And I learned two things that night. Number one, that sex can happen in the dark. Thank God. And number two, that I was just so excited to see her naked that I didn't think about my own insecurities. So I look back on that experience fondly. And I want to give my partners credit. In general, my labia didn't cause any problems in practice. Like I had a boyfriend later in high school, and in college I tried to orchestrate a hoe phase. I tried to have this like feminist, liberated attitude towards sex. Like if I was hooking up with a guy, I made sure he went down on me. But I was also so deeply uncomfortable with oral that I would just kind of lie there and wait long enough to feel like a feminist, and then I would just stop him. And then, when I was going down on a girl, I would secretly hope that hers would be as ugly as mine. Like, I'd literally be pulling down her panties like, please be weird, please be weird, please be weird. Shit! Nice. Fuck me. Fuck me. I guess I'll be a top. And like... Every time I showed that part of myself to someone, it felt like I was revealing a terrible secret. I didn't care what my body count was. I just cared how many people knew about this secret. People tried to make me feel better about myself. They would say things like, it's beautiful, but it took everything in me not to say, no, it's not, okay? It's beautiful the way a pug is cute. It's ugly, and that's fine. You came. You know, like how a sexually liberated feminist would talk? But I first Googled labiaplasty when I was 13 years old. And I have a memory of sitting on my toilet with a pair of nail clippers in my hand. Because joking about it didn't help. And trying to dress differently didn't help. And trying to power through and have sex anyway didn't help. So on my 19th birthday, I'm still a teenager. I've been thinking about this for 6 years. And I finally decide that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get a trim. And then came the hard part, which was asking my mother, hey, Mom? Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, probably just gonna get some dinner with friends. Who? Oh, she's dead? Oh my God. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, well listen, No, I have enough necklaces, but listen, there was something that, this is hard. So maybe you got a nose job, right? And, yeah, no, you wouldn't even know the difference. You wouldn't be able to tell. It's called a labiaplasty. It's basically just like a trim. Yeah. Wait, how do you know? Actually, don't answer that. And there's a long pause before she goes, oh, okay. But you know that means you can't get it pierced. I mean, she didn't say that, but she was incredibly supportive, actually. She helped me find a surgeon in Chicago. It was weirdly difficult to find a female surgeon. Like, I knew I wanted a woman doctor, right? But there were so many websites for so many shiny, shiny men who specialized in labiaplasty, vaginal rejuvenation, and mommy makeovers, which is like a combo of like boob job, tummy tuck. It's like so icky. And but we finally find a woman doctor. So she was a woman, which is great. She's also French, not as great. Like, no disrespect to the French people. I just don't have respect for them. But so I'm 19 and I go in for my consultation, and this woman doctor, her office is it's got like floor to ceiling photos of tall, skinny, beautiful women. And all of her furniture is either white and fluffy or made of glass. Like, I can see the receptionist Jimmy shoes through her desk. Shay? Shai. No, that's okay, I get that a lot. And then she gives me a form to fill out, and, you know, I should know all these answers. So I sit down, I sink into the couch, and I start to fill it out. Name, Shai Bardin. Sex, and I check F. And for some reason, F to me is still more comfortable than woman. Maybe it's that I am a recovering misogynist, but something about the woman label still kind of rubs me the wrong way. Although I guess that is a big part of being a woman, getting rubbed the wrong way. Shai Bardin, F. Are you sexually active? At first. Then my legs get tired. Shai Bardin, sexually active, yeah. When was the first day of your last period? Okay, do any Fs in the room ever know the answer to that question? I can never keep track of that. Oh my gosh, I have no idea when my last period was. I remember when my first period was, because it was 2 days after my bat mitzvah. Hashem has excellent timing. I was home alone, and I got this brand new feeling in my stomach. So I go to the bathroom to discover that I became a woman in the health class sense. Like, gender isn't real, everything's a construct, but there was blood in the toilet. And there's this period after your first period where you feel this kind of kinship, this sisterhood with the other girls in your grade. You borrow each other's pads. You walk in front of each other in the hall like, am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Okay, you're good. And then she goes, am I good? Am I good? Am I good? And you're like, yeah, you're good. But when that excitement fades, your period doesn't. And mine was getting worse and worse every single month. I think by the time I was like 14, my cramps were so bad that I would like vomit, and I'd have to miss days of school. So in high school, I started taking the pill to manage my period symptoms. My colleagues, so just let you guys. My colleagues, just lied. And then after high school, right before college, I switched from the pill to an IUD, which is like the birth control equivalent of like taking off the cardigan. And I got the Mirena IUD. They all have these like aggressively white girl names. Like, there's Mirena, there's Liletta, there's Kylina, there's Skyla with 2 A's. These are all real names for like a little T-shaped device that goes into your uterus. It sounds like your pussy's getting gentrified. So I am 17 years old, and I am in the stirrups with my clam out, and the doctor says that I will feel a pinch, followed by some light cramping. And you know how doctors do that? Lie. She inserts it, and I kid you not, I screamed. Imagine screaming, it was like that. It was to this day the worst pain I ever felt in my life, and even when she was done inserting it, that pain just didn't go away. So she leaves the room briefly. I assume to talk to her best friend, the hunter from Bambi. Bitch. And I'm lying there, and I am in the fetal position, and I am in agony. And like without thinking, I lower my mask, and I throw up everywhere. Guys, it's bad. It is on the floor. It is on the walls. It is on the ultrasound machine. Because I guess they were going to tell me if I wasn't going to have a boy or a girl. And of course, right then she comes back and she sees this mess. Like the little half Xanax that they gave me is like floating around in there. They didn't give me anything for pain. They gave me Xanax to calm down, which worked so well. She comes back in and she sees this mess, and I go, I'm so sorry. I threw up. I am so sorry to whoever has to clean this. This is such an inconvenience for you. You're essential workers. And I had tuna for lunch. And now there's tuna on the ultrasound machine. I'm so sorry. Do you hate me? But now I have Morena. She's great. I love her. She recently opened up a Pilates studio. She's demolishing historic fallopian tube to build more condos. So name's Shai Bardin. Sex F. Sexually active. Yeah. When was the first day of your last period? I think it was a Wednesday. It was raining. And then there's like so much fine print, but I skip over all of that, because like, what's gonna be in there? And I sign my name, and then the woman doctor is ready to see me. So she has me undress and change into a gown and show her the problem area. And so I'm 19, I'm back in the stirrups with my clam out, didn't have tuna this time. So the doctor, she washes her hands, and she puts on gloves, and she takes a seat, and she takes one look and goes, oh yes, I see. Rude. At least wait for my cue. Like, we both know why I'm here. But can we suspend disbelief for like a second? Like, what? What the fuck could you see a problem? This is beautiful. Like a bug. But no, so she finishes poking around, and then I get dressed, and we get to talking, and she pulls out an iPad the size of the coffee table, and she starts showing me so many before and after pictures, just nameless, faceless vulvas, one after the other, and I can't quite explain it, but they all had the energy of Lindsay Lohan's mugshots. For those of you who don't know, Lindsay Lohan has 6 mugshots. She has led a storied life. And some of these mugshots you look at and you go, Lindsay, what did you get up to? When did you go blonde? And then there are others. Mugshots that you look at and you go, oh, Lindsay, what happened? What did you get up to? So she's showing me all of these mugshots, and she's like giving me like context like little glimpses into these women's lives. Like she's swiping, she goes, yes, this woman, she was a lawyer, and we used the wedge method because she had a lot of excess. Moving on. Yes, this woman, we did the labelplasty. We also had a clitoral hood reduction. Maybe you also? Maybe you also get this? Yes, this woman, she came all the way from China, and it's funny, she was so ashamed of hers that she was still a virgin at 27. Huh. And it, pained me to see how many people felt this type of insecurity, this type of discomfort, and at the same time, I was still holding out on hope that I would see a before picture that looked like me, and I didn't, which made me feel worse. Getting a labiaplasty, really booking it and going through with it, it felt like I was admitting defeat as a feminist, like I was waving the white flag at the Arby's joke. You guys know the Arby's joke. We have the meats, so it looks like a roast beef sandwich. When I first heard this joke, I was mortified because do you have any idea how humiliating it is as a Jew to have your culture deli meats weaponized against you? I couldn't fucking handle it. I didn't want to be brave. I wanted to be hot. And that sucks, but it's true. And we're talking, and we end up talking about sort of how much I want removed. Now, normally, I'm Jewish, so when I hear 50% off, I get excited. But I didn't want that much of it gone. So I told her that I didn't want to look like a Barbie. She was like, no Barbie? I was like, no, I just want to look like a health class diagram. Very tasteful, you can easily identify every part, but there's something there. And she goes, okay. No clitoral hood reduction? No. I wouldn't want her to get cold. So, on July 31st, 2023, I go in and I am put under general anesthesia for the first time, and I get a trim. And then my mom drove me home. My mom took care of me, which was really, really sweet, because for a week afterwards, I couldn't stand up for longer than a few minutes at a time. But this was also one of the weirder ways I connected with my mother. It's very awkward. And day 3 post-op, I'm sitting on the couch, icing my clam, and I got a text notification, and it was from my surgeon. And there are attachments. And looking back, when she was showing me the countless before and after pictures on her website, I maybe should have put together what might have been in the fine print on that form that I signed. So I'm sitting on the couch, icing my clam, I get a text notification, I check it, I go, oh my God! My mom's like, what's wrong? I go, Lindsay got arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, I experienced on that day something that I would not wish on my worst enemy. I received my own unsolicited nudes. And let me tell you, I had never seen myself from that angle. I'm not that flexible. But seeing myself, seeing this part of me that made me so uncomfortable, that I was so insecure about for so long, I just thought, oh, okay. About a week later, I went back to the hospital to pick it up because I asked if I could keep it because I'm an artist. So that part wasn't a joke. I go to the hospital, and I walk into this lab, and there's all these like little containers with like biohazard signs on them, and there's a woman sitting at a desk, and I go, "Hi, I'm here to pick up something of mine. It's my labia," and she goes, "Okay. Hey, Jan, does she have to like sign something or like?" And Jan's just like looking for like the right container. I'm like, "Bardin, labia." That's B as in boy. A-R-D like David, I-N like Nancy. And so they hand it to me, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, just yeah, you can just sort of sign. Sorry, this has just never happened before. Is there a reason you're keeping it?" Yeah, I was thinking I might donate it to Lips of Love. But that is a good question, though. Like, why did I decide to keep it? Why has my labia minora been sitting in a jar in front of all you fine people instead of in my panties safe and sound? Now, I know that there is nothing wrong with, to quote the fast food chain, having the meats. And this procedure wasn't like medically necessary, but it got rid of the noise, that constant discomfort, that wedgie feeling. And even though I've had it removed, it's no longer a part of my body, it's still, that feeling is still preserved. I didn't want to get rid of it. The first joke I ever told on stage was a pussy joke, even though I was so ashamed of mine and I didn't want to be another female comic that talked about her pussy. Because I think I felt this need to compensate for an ugliness about me, or like to get ahead of it, to make fun of myself before someone else could, to write a better joke than the Arby's joke. I actually haven't written any jokes about my post-trim vulva. I can't think of any. For the first time, this feels like a private part. I mean, like, mostly private. Unless you ask nicely. I'm not a dirty comic. I'm also not a clean comic. I'm just a good comic. Joked about dirty things for a while, because for a while, sex was the coolest thing I had done. But I'm getting older, and I'm doing a lot of other cool things, and there's a whole world outside of my body to write jokes about. But because I'm a good comic, all of these dirty jokes that I have amassed over the years are still really good. They're still worth preserving. I don't want to just throw them away or feel ashamed of them or forget about them. These parts of me, these trimmings, I may be removing them from my body, from my act. They may no longer be a part of me, but I'm preserving them. They're in the jar. Thank you for coming.